So Patrick was doing the reading, and there's that one part that says 1, 1, 1, and I'm thinking, sometimes it's 9, 1, 1. You know, like the talk today is, yes, I am. And what I was thinking about as I was bringing this thoughts into being in this talk was the statements that we make in life are where we tend to go. And sometimes they're good from our perspective, and sometimes they're not so good from our perspective. Sometimes we have a tendency, I shouldn't say we, I'm not going to place that on you, and I'm not going to say you either. Sometimes I have a tendency to get a little harsh with myself. And I start claiming things like, I'm sick and tired of this. Ooh.
Bam.
Bam. In fact, I was saying that just the other day. My good friend and partner, Reverend Bill, told me, you need to stop that. And yesterday, guess what?
Bam!
I ran out and caught myself a cold. But then I said, I don't accept this. Cold gone. It can be that simple. It can be claiming it and becoming it. Now, sometimes there's a believability factor here that may get in the way, because sometimes we can fool ourselves. Sometimes we can claim something that is patently not true yet. I have $1 million. Now, I can state that in the conditional aspect of life, I do not yet have $1 million. I'm open to the possibility. But in claiming it, I begin to set in motion the potential for that to come into my experience. That's why when we say things like I am, it's so powerful about setting our intention. We may not be there yet, but we certainly won't be there if we don't claim it. It ain't ever going to come about if I don't recognize it as possible. If it's impossible for me, guess what? I'm right. If it becomes possible for me, if it opens up into this I am statement that we can move into our experience of a greater good and a greater power in our lives, then we can bring that forward into our experience and we get to enjoy it. So this is the trick of science of mind. The trick of science of mind is that we're responsible for our thoughts. Nobody else is in your head with you. Potentially. Most of the people in my head, I've invited there. They're a committee. Occasionally they will meet without me. Occasionally they will vote me out of office as CEO. And I will find myself scrambling around thinking, I'm not worthy of this. I'm not able to do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable enough. I'm. And so it is. Yet, we each have this creative power that we're a focus of. We're a center in an infinite mind with the ability to choose what we're thinking. When I start to go down a road of I'm not, and it feels heavy, and can often feel desperate because the condition is not changing because I'm reinforcing what I'm not. Instead of looking towards that part that says, I am an individualized expression of a divine presence, required by that presence to be here now as life expressing. The consciousness within me is required to be here right now, as it is with each one of us, as this moment is happening by divine appointment. When I recognize that truth, then all of a sudden the potential of what I might become becomes greater. But it starts with being able to say, I am worthy. Okay, get out your cards. This is a participatory exercise. Say with me, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am prosperous.
I am prosperous.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am gifted.
I am gifted.
I am loved.
I am loved.
Any one of those have a problem for anybody? Believability issue, maybe? Something in you that said, not yet. I don't see that in my life yet. And that may be the condition you're experiencing, that you may not be experiencing all of these at any given time. But when we set our intention with the power of an I am statement, then we grow into that experience. We have the opportunity to become that, to be that, to experience that. And until we allow ourselves to be that good, we're not receiving all of the good that was already given. We are each an eternal expression within ourselves, as a point of consciousness within an infinite place that we're living in. There is an infinite potential. And if I'm holding out a thimble, I'm going to get a thimble's worth. If I'm holding out a cup, I'm going to get a cup's worth. If I've gone to BJ's and I've got a 55-gallon drum, I'm going to get a 55-gallon drum's worth. And as we say, we've been teaching this in the Beyond Limits class, so I get to do this over and over again. If I'm a hose, I have an infinite supply. So when I become a channel for that statement that I wish to receive in my life, I have an infinite source for that to flow through me. It doesn't have to be limited by any quantity that I can come up with. What's enough prosperity? Right? Opulence. I want all of it. And then I want all of the storage lockers to put it in. I mean, there are so many things we can receive in our lives that start with our recognition that we can be that. By claiming the statement of I am that first. Because when we claim it and speak it aloud, the potential becomes possible for us to start to experience it. Now, I've noticed this in myself, and I'm sure it happens for other people. When we claim that I am something good, all of a sudden my truth meter goes on. And it does two things. My truth meter tells me that I'm either not living up to my statement and says, maybe I need to change my actions, like not claiming that I'm sick and tired of things. That was me. Wow, I did that. Didn't live up to I'm whole, healthy, and complete. And the other thing that happens for me is when I make this statement, I prepare myself to receive that good that I'm particularly looking for in my life. And if I'm not ready to receive it, guess what? It's like, playing baseball. Anybody play baseball? Right? You got a mitt in one hand and you got a ball. You're tossing the ball back and forth and you go, shkabadump, right? You catch the ball. Right? And you throw it back. Guy's over there. You catch the ball. And then I turn around. As he throws the ball back. And I'm not ready to receive it. You ever notice that happen in your life? You were looking for some good and it went right by you because you were turned the other way. So I wasn't ready to receive it. I didn't prepare myself to be open to this. I said I was open to it, but then I turned my back on it. My actions didn't match my intention of catching the ball. And what happened? I got smacked upside the head with a baseball. It's football season now, so maybe it was a football. I don't know. I like baseballs because they come with a glove that kind of pad the impact a little bit. When we're open to receive our good, all things become possible. And Holmes puts this in a really succinct way, because I think this is really important. In the logical course of events, we are not talking about magic words. We're talking about setting an intention and aligning our being with that intention to experience a greater perception of life and therefore receive a greater perception of life. So when our actions and our words and our intentions are matched together, guess how fast it happens? Like that. And when there's a little bit of misalignment that we need to work on, my truth meter as I was talking about, then it might take a little longer than that. But in the logical course of events, it comes into my life. As it can come into your life too. Okay, one more time. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am prosperous.
I am prosperous.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am gifted.
I am gifted.
I am loved.
I am loved.
And you are. And so am I. And so it is.